Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at Drifters episode 3. Now, I don't know if you guys saw my Bungo Stray Dogs episode 4/16 review. I'm using this mic until I get a new one. I'll kind of keep repeating that every beginning of my review just to kind of just warn people that this mic is maybe a little meh. It's not the greatest mic in the world. My other one's getting replaced Monday, so don't worry about that. It'll go back to the normal. Um, this episode is what I consider the turning point of the show to me. This is what really could have made me drop it. I came very close. Drifters is doing two things right and two things wrong. In terms of the things that are doing it right, I love the concept of it. Like, I love the concept of the whole different histories colliding and having all these kind of big, huge heroes slash villains kind of being in one world together. I think that's really cool. And I also think that the action animation is really nice. Like, I say animation, I'm not putting that as a third category. I'm saying that as they work really well together. Like, the animation and the fighting are perfect together. I love just how it looks. That's something very similar to Hellsing Ultimate. Also, similar to Hellsing Ultimate are the issues with the pacing, which I feel are kind of like all over the place. I feel that the story could be a little slowed down here and there, and it feels like it just sometimes rushed forward, slow down, rush forward, slow down. It doesn't have a good pacing to it. And also, my biggest issue is the comedic concepts, which are not funny. Like, they do this weird comedy stuff in between parts of the show, and they're not funny, they're not humorous in any means, they're just kind of, they detract from the episode itself and the kind of drama that we're seeing unfold. Now, I'm only going to use 4 images in this whole review because honestly, there's not much for me to say this episode. We meet several new cast of characters. We meet, of course, one of the characters I was looking forward to seeing, Billy the Kid, part of the Wild Ones, so it looks like he also has another member of the Wild Ones with them. That is, of course, Western history and stuff like that. We also meet Joan of Arc, who was the martyr slash the heretic that was burned at the stake for being a religious zealot back in her day. For some reason, that means that she has fire powers in this world. I don't know how that transitions to that, but we're also introduced to this one Russian lady who is, I believe, known for, like, I guess she was like this, I think, Sleeping Beauty in her version. I think she put a lot of people to sleep, if I remember correctly, in her lore for her, but I'm not 100% sure. We're also introduced to one character who was probably one of the highlights of this episode, the World War II pilot. He's a Japanese soldier. I forgot exactly what his name is. I also know, though, that I believe, because I'm not, in World War II history, I'm more familiar with the European slash American slash German side of history in that aspect. In terms of Japanese history, I'm not like, unless it's like the stuff from the feudal days, samurai, stuff like that, I'm not too familiar with it, like especially during the World Wars. I only know a little bit about how they had to deal with certain things. But I do remember that I think this is the guy who had the most kills of any pilot of the Japanese side, so I believe that's who he is. He was badass. He took down a whole bunch of dragons and stuff that showed up in this episode. Yeah, because there's dragons and stuff. What we're introduced to mainly in this episode is the one side, which is the Drifter side, and then we are introduced to the Ends, which is the run by the Black King, who apparently is this, looks like a necromancer from any typical JRPG, but he has a lot of power apparently, and also he is the one that's has his version of Drifters with him. So, I'm very curious where this going with the story, but I'm not really caring too much. I'm just here for kind of the action guys at this point. We also introduced finally to that girl that keeps showing up, that's been hiding, looking at Toya and Oda and the other girl, or the dude, excuse me. I said girl, it's a dude. She is apparently from the Octoberist organization, Alumnus. Apparently her job is just to keep an eye on them, obviously. She's trying to get every single drifter together in one place, so that's interesting. That's honestly the highlight of this episode. To be honest, I almost want to drop it from this episode. I'm going to keep going, though, because at this point I feel like the action, as long as it's there every episode, will kind of keep me going back. But, Toya, Oda, and Natsu, I think is the dude's name. They all took kind of a backseat with this episode. They appeared at the very end, of course, with meeting this girl. But what was interesting is I like the newer cast of characters they introduced, like really, especially the Roman and Greek guy. They were pretty cool. We also saw, like I said, the pilot and the Billy the Kid, which was kind of cool also. But overall, I did not feel this episode was that great. The action was amazing. The action so far this whole series has been amazing. But everything else was kind of boring, to be honest with you. Anyways, guys and girls, tell me in the comments below, what do you think of this episode? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? I'm very curious on your thoughts. As always, if you did like this review, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share the video, you know the whole nine. Have a great, blessed day, everyone. Bye-bye.